Hi guys, and welcome back to my Coco Chanel. And as you can probably see, we have a little bit of a different setup today because we just moved into a new office. So in today's video I want to talk about refeeds versus diet breaks and looking into some of the factors such as do you need one, what is the difference, what effect does it have on your metabolic rate, and how to do either one correctly. Now, when we diet, and more specifically for fat loss, we put ourselves into a caloric deficit, and this has some obviously physiological effects but some biological effects in terms of how it affects your metabolic rate, how it affects your energy levels, how it affects your hormones, and how it affects your overall mentality. Now, I've tried diet breaks before for myself personally and both with clients, and it's also pretty much, well, I had some pretty much good research done by Eric Helms, who showed the effects and the positive attributes that go with diet breaks. But in this video, I want to do something a little bit more juicy and show you the effects of refeed. So I'm going to do a 10,000 calorie challenge or refeed day done over a 48-hour period, purely just because I love pick and mixing a shitload of food. Now, the reason why I implemented my refeed was because we, and when I say we, I mean me and LD, that's Lucy Davis Fit, went to Body Power this gone weekend. We've been dieting pretty hard for about 8 weeks, so my body needed a break, and it seemed like a pretty good time to do one as I'm going to be entering another quite strict dieting phase before I go on holiday. So firstly, what is a diet break? So a diet break is going to be a planned period of time that you have put aside to bring up your calories to sort of around maintenance or just above, from anywhere from 1 day to 2 weeks. So I get clients do this quite often as it prepares them both physiologically and psychologically for the next phase of their diet. And it's also really good for bringing up energy levels, replenishing glycogen, and just resetting yourself mentally ready for that next phase of your diet again. Now, I think the problem is when it comes to dieting that everyone is all being consumed by a mentality of want everything now, or I want it now, pay later. And if you like this with your diet and too hard all the time, then pretty much you're going to fuck up eventually, so to speak. So you have to be willing, unless you're a competitor where you're going balls to the walls mentality all the time and that's needed, you have to be ready to take a break or kind of a step backwards in order to move forward. Now, this kind of mentality and structure and strategy to diet is going to allow for better results, and if they are planned into, say, a 12-week cutting phase, you're going to prepare yourself mentally for those diet breaks, and it's also going to benefit you a lot more when it comes to results over the long-term period and make it a lot more sustainable. Now, a diet break is different to a refeed because it is going to last a little bit longer, so its results are going to be longer lasting as well in terms of its hormonal effects. Now, benefits of this include stopping rapid changes in your hormones. It is a lot better for adherence. It's going to keep you happy for longer because you're going to be less stressed, and we're also going to be consistently moving along looking to lose about 1% of body weight per week along the course of your diet period. Now, some of the disadvantages of doing a diet break include the fact that you are going to be having to diet for a longer period of time because you are taking these diet breaks within your set period of dieting. So for some people who want to lose weight really quickly, it may not be worth it. You've also got to consider that the fact that when you are doing these diet breaks, you're still going to be eating within a caloric window. So those foods that you really want to have and really want to chow down, like your McDonald's, Burger King, footlong Subways, whatever floats your boat, aren't necessarily going to fit into that caloric window. And especially for females who really, when they go back up to maintenance, is only going to be an extra 300 or 400 calories, aren't going to get a lot of bang for the buck in terms of when they are moving calories up for these 2-week windows. Now, Eric Helms made a small statement of when he runs diet breaks, he tries to get a feel of how bad they are hurting psychologically in terms of his clients, and if they really need a mental break as well, then he'll revert just to counting calories versus counting macros as well. So now, what is a refeed? Now, a refeed is a little bit different. So a refeed is going to be a 1 to 2 day period where you are going to eat anywhere from 50% over your normal calories or maintenance calories, and For me, I went for the higher end of the spectrum and decided to have 10,000 calories over a 2-day period. So bearing in mind my calories at the moment fall anywhere from like sort of 2,400 calories or lower, depending on what I'm doing for my cut, then this was quite a jump for me in terms of what I was doing the refeed. So it allowed me to get a couple of pints of pick and mix in and have a Swiss roll the size of a carpet roll pretty much. It's important to know that this isn't just a bender or a binge, it's a strategic change in calories and a planned break away from your diet in order to contribute to your long-term success. So you don't want to mix this up with binge eating or just force as many calories in as possible just for the sake of it, and you predominantly want to be getting these foods from carbohydrates. Now the reason for this is that carbohydrates have been shown to rescue levels of leptin, whereas fats don't really have any effect, and at the same time it's going to help your T3 and T4, which are both really important hormones when it comes to your fat loss. Now some people say the after effects of a refeed are acute, but then the mental benefits are really big. So if you look at it in terms of, would you rather have some extra sweet potato or some extra oats, or have a pint of pick and mix, or a cheesecake the size of your head? I'll let you do the math. So I'm quickly going to run you through my physique update just before I started the refeed. As you can see here, a little bit flat after dieting for 8 weeks, but still holding a little bit of fat during this refeed period. So my refeed didn't really start until I got to Body Power, and I had a couple of protein bars whilst we were walking around just so I could hit my protein intake, and the real refeed really started when we got to a little place called Bodega, which is where we had my coach school meet up. So I started with a sharing nachos, which is between me and LD, so I kind of totaled it up as being 470 calories for the large plate. We then moved on to the mains, which were a little bit disappointing. I mean, my nan would have eaten more, and she used to get full or bloated after a cracker bread or two. So I kind of scheduled up mains to be around the 700 to 730 marker, as you can probably see from my MyFitnessPal screen grabs from the side. We then moved into what did not disappoint, which was the banana and cream salted caramel cheesecake. I know, it was pretty epic. Again, I estimated this to be around 360 calories, which bumped us up a little bit. Then a few gin and tonics following the meal topped us up by about roughly 560 calories, putting us on a grand total so far of getting up to a few thousand. We then moved into a bit of a shit mix of sugary foods and really dense carbohydrates, fast-acting foods that me and LD had saved up over the Easter period. So I'll let you have a little look at exactly what we went back to. Fix that I brought with us to Body Power. So in true style, I've got my little Easter bag there because me and LD have been saving some of the chocolates from Easter. Galaxy, Kit Kat, Galaxy eggs. We've got Oreos. Oh my god, what is that? Is that a cream egg? We've got a Wat, one of my favourites, white Kit Kat. We've got about 4 of these Reese's eggs, a big fat pint of Wilko's Pick and Mix, and LD got accused today of being a cheapo or a non-elitist because she shops in Wilko, didn't you? But Pick and Mix from Wilko is probably up there with the absolute best. There's LD's little tub next to mine because, you know. So following this, I was pretty much really bloated at this point, and we didn't finish everything that we'd collected and took to the Body Power weekend. But the next day, as you can see, I didn't finish off all the foods. We got for a good chunk of it. Between it, we rounded this up the next day's totals, which you'll again see at the side. And now just moving into my morning weigh-in and check-in. As you can see from the scales, I have gone up about 7 pounds. I'll explain a little bit more why this weight gain was initiated shortly. Moving into a physique update, as you may or may not be able to tell, I'm a little bit more watery, a bit fuller, a bit softer, and this was just after day 1 of 2 of the refeed, which because I choose to do mine over a 48-hour period, trying to get in those 10,000 calories and hit that magic number. Now, by this point, I was feeling a little bit more lethargic. I didn't train at all over these 2 days, so my body was completely at rest in order to replenish those glycogen stores. And before lunch, we headed down. I wasn't planning on having anything for breakfast or brunch, but I am a little bit of a minge bag, so I wanted to make the most of the money that we paid for the hotel. So grabbed a little bit of the cheap and cheerful Holiday Inn breakfast. Talking about absolute pathetic breakfasts. What are these? I've never had beans, so that's how pathetic this one is. It's got like 5 beans, a proper poor man's dollop of, what's that? Brown sauce, and like half the sausage, which is, I just tastes quite good. But we're gonna have like this, like a little mini chow down before we go to brunch, aren't we? Some place called New York. Which again, I'm adding these calories up as we go along on the side for you to see. But at this point, I was quite full, appetite wise, but muscle bellies, veins were very prominent. Just because my blood glucose levels were now at like godlike mode. Following on from this though, we've then found a little cool place in Birmingham, which was a little brunch spot. I'll try and find a name for and pop up on the screen, where it had something which was kind of like a sausage and egg chorizo sort of passata meal, which is pretty much just eggs and sausage swimming in spicy tomato sauce, which again I've estimated the calories and macros at the side, before then finishing off with a few little goodies on the way home, such as chocolate, and brought some prawn sandwiches and crisps, which I've also added into MyFitnessPal to bring the total up for you. So as you've probably seen from the MyFitnessPal screenshots, we managed to get up to 10k marker over that 2-day refeed. But what was the real reason behind the weight gain and why was it initiated? So this is mainly going to be down to 2 things, such as glycogen and water. So basically we do the science and the maths. For every 1 gram of glycogen that we hold 3 grams of water. So this is predominantly like if people have a binge eat or they have a big weekend on the beers and the food, they're going to weigh more the next day or the following couple of days, just because they're now going to be holding more glycogen and water, not necessarily because they put more fat on. So to break it down to retrospect and to put your mind at ease, usually you would have to eat 3,000 calories over maintenance for the week to even put on 1 pound of body fat. This is also of course going to be down to food volume. So if we just consume 10,000 calories over a 48-hour period, I'm obviously holding on to a lot more until I've been for a nice Bobby Brown over the next couple of days. So now 5 days later, I am back down to my normal weight of just above 30.5 stone. So was it really worth the refeed? So overall, I'd say yes, it definitely was worth it. The workouts over the last few days have been a lot better. The pumps have been better. I've been lifting heavier. Also, my energy levels have been a lot better through workout as well. My overall want or need for sweet or chocolate things has been down because I've kind of satisfied those needs over that weekend, and also my appetite has been down over the last few days because of it. And I've been doing a lot more activity because I've had more energy, such as just walking, movement, yoga and that kind of thing. So just to conclude and really figure out what works best for you, you're going to need to think, do you want to lose weight quickly, and try and be a little bit sensible about it so that you can plan in either those refeed days or so you can plan in those diet breaks within a 12-week block. If you don't want to do it, or you don't want to add them in, or add a refeed in specifically, because psychologically you're not in a place where you feel you can eat those amounts of food without binging or without going OTT, then it's simple as just don't do it. The other factor obviously is, are you dieting? If you're not dieting, you're in a surplus or maintenance, it's really going to have no effect to your overall composition or body or where you're looking to get to. This is generally just speaking for people who are in a caloric deficit for large periods of time and their goal is to lose body fat. The other thing that you've got to look at is how far away are you currently from your goal. So if you've got a lot of body weight to lose at first, you probably don't need to put a refeed or a diet break in at these early stages until you're moving a little bit further down the line. And then on the other end of the spectrum, how low do you want to get your body fat? So if you're one of these people who's looking to get down to 7, 8, 9, 10% and maintain that, then these kind of diet break strategies are going to be really important for you in the long run in terms of making sure you're looking after your body, not just the external of what you can see in the mirror, but also the internal of your hormones, your energy levels, and also what's up here. So that is all for today, guys, on this video. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a like and a massive thumbs up. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, then please subscribe. And I will catch you in my next video.
You asking why you started out to face it, my heart went off like crazy. You pressed your